Because of his theory about radiation at the sites, he was put into contact with a Dr. Howard Burgess of Sandia National Labs. Well, he was actually retired from there. Burgess had some pedigree. He'd actually worked on the first hydrogen bomb. He was part of that team. And Burgess came and he tested the area for radiation, and he found that they tested positive for it. Meanwhile, Gabe theorized that since all of these mutilations were happening at night, the cows must be marked in some way so that the aircraft that was flying over could find them. Of course, his working theory was that it was some sort of aircraft based on the fact that they weren't finding any tracks to or from the sites. And Burgess came up with the idea of looking at the cows through a black light to kind of see if there's any UV marking. And lo and behold, they found 6 cows that did have UV markings on them. And they ended up removing the fur that was marked with UV, and Manuel Gomez sold those cows to somebody else. I don't know if that person later on found a mutilated cow on his property, but if he did, then shame on Manuel Gomez. But it's a little bit odd because they didn't really run that theory through. In order to confirm that the UV was the indicator that these flying objects were using was UV radiation coming from the cow's hide, you'd have to wait to see if the cows that have UV markings get mutilated. And they didn't wait around for that. So I don't know that that test really proved anything, but Howard Burgess really inserted himself into Gabe Valdez's investigations. And at first you would think that's quite lucky because he has such expertise, but it turns out he wasn't that lucky. When Burgess took samples of radiation from the cattle mutilation sites, he didn't take any background samples. And so it could just be the radiation from the area was a little bit higher than it is on average, which can just happen. So that wasn't very helpful of him. And something else happened later on that would really call Howard Burgess's credibility into question.